5 votes left.
As the tide was turning in the Ninth Corps' favor on the Confederate right, the Confederates saw a dust cloud coming from the direction of Harper's Ferry. Thinking it was more Federal reinforcements because of the blue uniforms, the Confederates thought all was lost. But fortunate to them, the rebel battle cross was flying above the columns, indicating Confederate reinforcements under A.P. Hill. The 18th North Carolina and the rest of A.P. Hill's Light Division was enthusiastic when they raced into battle. Hill took no time to organize his men, and he smashed his men into the Federal left flank, routing them from the field to save Lee's army from disaster. The 18th North Carolina, also known as the Bloody 18th, was formerly the 8th Volunteers who were organized at Camp Wyatt near Carolina Beach, North Carolina, in July of 1861. Its men came from Wilmington in the counties of Robeson, New Hanover, Bladen, Columbus, and Richmond. The regiment first moved to South Carolina, then in spring of 1862, it proceeded to Virginia. When the tarheels arrived in Virginia, they were placed in a brigade full of other tarheels, which included the 7th, 28th, 33rd, and 37th North Carolina regiments, and was commanded by Lawrence O'Brien Branch. The 18th would be baptized in fire at the Battle of Hanover Court House. The regiment would continue to see combat during the 7 Days Battle and Northern Virginia campaign, especially proving their worth at the Battle of Cedar Mountain. After dislodging Pope from Virginia, the regiment would follow Jackson and Hill into Maryland for the Maryland campaign. During the Maryland campaign, the regiment would be led by Lieutenant Colonel Thomas J. Purdy, attached to Lawrence O'Brien Branch's brigade of North Carolinians of Ambrose P. Hill's Light Division. The regiment would find themselves sieging the Federal garrison of Harper's Ferry. After a heavy bombardment of the town, the Tar Heels attacked the Federals on top Bolivar Heights, forcing them off and closer to the town. With the heights secured, Jackson held all the heights around the town and forced the garrison to surrender the next morning with another bombardment. With the surrender of the garrison, the 18th North Carolina was delighted to treat themselves to the stores of equipment in Harper's Ferry. They upgraded their weapons from the old smoothbores to the latest weaponry, put on new Federal uniforms, replacing their threadbare clothes and shoes, and feasting on the stores of food. With their bellies full and weapons replaced, they paroled the garrison, which was the largest surrender of U.S. troops in the Civil War. But their partying had to end. Lee sent urgent news for A.P. Hill to get his troops to Sharpsburg as soon as possible. The Tar Heels marched 17 miles and found Burnside's 9th Corps making their attack on the south side of Sharpsburg. With their Federal uniforms, they surprised the Federal left flank and sent them running, even though the 18th North Carolina did not get to fight in the battle since they were behind other regiments. While held in reserve, they were prime targets for artillery, losing 8 men killed and 14 wounded. With Burnside in retreat, the battle effectively ended, with both sides finishing basically where they started. The 18th is equipped with the M1842 Springfield musket, the M1853 Enfield, and the M1855 Springfield rifles with their bayonets. The M1842 Springfield smoothbore musket has two types of ammunition: the medium-range, large 69 caliber round ball, or the powerful short-range bucking ball. The M1853 Enfield and the M1855 Springfield rifles are both exceptional at medium and long ranges with their 58 caliber Manet ball. The 18th was able to acquire the more advanced Springfields from the Harper's Ferry garrison after the surrender. The Tar Heels wear the standard North Carolina Confederate uniforms consisting of gray sack coats with black epaulets and brown and gray trousers. The covers consist of gray kepis. The 18th is also home to the light blue uniforms of the Columbus Guards, the uniform that comes with the Sergeant Pledge tier for War of Rights. The 18th carries one flag into battle, the regimental flag that is the North Carolina state flag with the unit's designation on it and the dates the state joined the United States and left. In War of Rights, you can find the 18th North Carolina on the many maps of Harper's Ferry, since they were not really engaged at the Battle of Antietam. Now what will you do? Will you join these Tar Heels and push the Federals back, or will you wash their tar off?